Can you name an opponent not named Jon Jones? Can you name an opponent that you would like to see Francis Ngannou fight? And I'm stopping right there. And you can be playful too. Like Francis didn't know anybody to fight, so he was even going to make up a game. Him and Tyson, they were going to make up rules, but it was going to be compatible. Remember when that was going on? I've had some people when I bring that up leave me nasty comments talking about how dare you, that's blasphemy, why would you put Francis down? They think I'm kidding when I tell them that Francis and Tyson were going to make up rules to a game and then go play it against each other and sell it on pay-per-view. They think I'm making that up. I admit they haven't spoken about it in a while, but I promise you I'm not making that up. That's what they were going to do. It was going to be combat-based. It was going to be hybrid. There was a discussion by Tyson Fury. They would wear 4-ounce gloves, Queensberry rules, inside of a cage, and Mike Tyson would referee it. Now, once he spit that out, Tyson Fury, he began laughing. And he should. It was a joke. But it happened. I mean, they were really seeing if there was something there. Okay, it got pretty obvious that Tyson was just playing with Francis, just kind of using his name to do something else. That got pretty obvious. But it did succeed in letting the boxing world know Francis would like to come and play with us. And then comes a guy named Deontay Wilder. So his contract's up. He becomes a free agent. Deontay speaks up. He goes and finds another meaningful, recognizable free agent. And I can't remember something in this sport dying off faster than that, and I don't know who killed it. Francis tweeted something out saying, great, yes. Even said to Deontay, I just hope that you're a man of your word. Deontay then came back right out. Francis passed him the ball. Deontay came back, and he said absolutely nothing. Then when Deontay said nothing, Francis rebutted to keep this alive by saying nothing. That is long gone. We've still got these guys, and Tyson's still up to something, but I think he's supposed to fight that Ukrainian with the really weird voice. Rumors of Francis going to one championship back in MMA. Rumors of Tyson going to PFL. I apologize, Francis going to the PFL, doing some MMA. I'm not holding you back. Is there anybody that you would like to see Francis fight? You can't say Jon Jones. Just for the fun of the game. I thought that Francis inadvertently was going to find himself in a very good position. Because as you tie that back to Jon, Jon's next opponent is going to be a veteran. It appears it's going to be somebody that you know very well. It appears that it's going to be Stipe Miocic. But getting Jon and Stipe together failed early last year, failed late last year, known as December 10th, failed in March of this year, and has now failed, from what we're being told, to be happening in summertime. Like there's something going on there. So I thought, okay, if Stipe's out, for whatever reason, but if Stipe is out, it really does, hey, Francis can come in and save the day. Right? I mean, think about how mad the UFC was at Jon Jones. He took his ball and went home for 3 years, left the division in shambles. Think about how mad they were. But when he came back ready to work at a time that they really needed him because there was just no heavyweights, they've been very nice to him. They've been very sweet to him. And I just thought that was a role that at the right time Francis could fill. Now, my buddy Jesse, you guys know him as Jesse on Fire. He did a piece yesterday, and the thumbnail said, Francis apologizes to Dana White and the UFC. Now, I didn't have time to listen to it, but I couldn't wait to listen to him go, wow, he did. That was the right move. If Francis picked up that phone and he apologized, or even better, drove down there and waited in the lobby, said, I don't have an appointment, I'm waiting here until Dana's friend just said, I'm sorry. That would have been great news. It would have been a big deal. And Francis strikes me as the kind of guy that would do that. Like, that would be a real manly thing. To look at something and realize that you're wrong. To have to come back. To undo a problem that you created. But sometimes as a man, you got to do that. Sometimes you think you're so right. You've got so many options and you realize, wait, I've got a family. I've got an obligation. I've got a career. I got to make up. Sometimes you have to do that. And you want to know who would accept and let him? Dana White. It need to be face to face. He would accept it. So when Jesse put this headline out, I was very excited. I was very excited. Boom, Francis is going to come back. And there's no reason, in my opinion, that we've got to wait to Madison Square Garden and November and Stipe and Jon. I don't understand. They're calling it their last match. And the thing's already gotten weird. As soon as it was called their last match, well, then let's just get on with it. We kind of want to, see some guys that are going to be around a while. It just got weird. And I thought there was an opportunity for Francis. I don't have time and ability to listen to it, but I'm driving and my car won't play for me. I just called Jesse and say, hey, I see this headline. Tell me everything. And Jesse goes, well, I was doing a what-if piece. He said he didn't actually go and apologize. I made a statement that if he wants back into the fold, he can get there. All he's going to have to do is apologize. Okay, I hung up the phone, but I get it, and I understand, and I agree with Jesse. But I'm bringing this to your guys' attention because when you do ask the question, who do you want to see Francis fight, and you can't say Jon Jones, I think you go a little bit quiet. I think you would watch Francis box with Wilder. I think you would watch Francis play that game with Fury. But will you watch versus do you want to see is very different. And now one speaks to convenience, whereas the other one speaks to prepared. Right? You're preparing. You're marking it down. You're making plans. You're prioritizing. The other one is, yeah, it's right here. Oh, just got to look here. Yeah, let's watch this till it's done. Okay, great. Get back to what I'm doing. It's a thing. They had a great marketing ploy when I was growing up. As a little kid, Mike Tyson just got out of the clink for rape, and they were saying to you, name one other heavyweight you'd rather see box. That is how they would sell Mike Tyson to you. Whether it was Frank Bruno or Bruce Seldon, one of the great dives in boxing history, Bruce Seldon pretended to be asleep. Frank Bruno, who just wasn't very good. Peter McNeely, who, right, the anxiety got to him. But I'm just sharing in that time frame, they didn't really have an ability to sell you on Peter McNeely. He wasn't a Golden Gloves. He wasn't a world. He wasn't an all-star. He wasn't an Olympian, just by example. Frank Bruno was British, and he said a lot of the right stuff. Body looked the part. Bruce Seldon was scared to death, and everybody knew it. But they still sold. And instead of trying to talk about Mike Tyson versus this guy, or this first resume versus this resume, they got right to the point. They said, who? They said, name another heavyweight you'd rather see box. And we all just sat back and said, we don't have one. Here's our money. Here's our $50. Let us know when Mr. Tyson's up. So I'm just taking that old adage that was so effective at the time. It was so effective that it stayed with me for 35 years. And I'm offering it to you now. Name a heavyweight, not Jon Jones, that you would like to see Francis fight. And guys that don't understand this business will always come at it from this perspective. And I do mean always. Here's who I am and what I've done. Then that is to prove a dollar amount. Then they will find an opponent, but by the time that opponent is found, they're too busy getting in training, looking out for the first two. They don't really think about the opponent, so now the world doesn't care. If a fighter who had an open contract and could go anywhere would go find the opponent first, he would build the message and the heat and the angle first. He would have that going around our industry. Then he went in and tried to find somebody to sign it and put it on it. Then he had to talk about the money. You're having a completely different experience. But fighters don't ever do that. You will hear them time and time again say, well, for a whole bunch of money, I would. Let me stop you right there. Whatever, for a whole bunch of money, I would. Okay, let me stop you. But whatever you're getting ready to say that first. And drop the whole bunch of money. Come at us with what? For a whole bunch of money, you would. Okay, let's start there. Let's do the money part last. Build something, have some. There's nothing out there. There's nothing exciting. I mean, we keep attempting to put Deontay Wilder into it, but that's only because he became available. That was with no part of the plan. He became available and thought, hey, maybe I can interject here. I see what he's getting ready to do with Tyson, but Tyson's tied up. I can step in here. I don't have anybody. He is nobody. We're free. We can go. Hey, promoters, where you at? Whereas a different way to do it would have had your team contact Deontay's team, find a way to come together, build the heat, tell the story, then find a home for it, which would, of course, equal money. There's a system that works. There's the general approach the one that we're doing now. It's the one that you almost always see, and you'll see it with somebody else tomorrow that doesn't work.